Venezuela. Once South America's most affluent nation, it has recently descended into chaos and violence. Kind of like how Best Buy is usually a chill place, but then on Black Friday, someone gets murdered over a toaster. And that's not a joke, by the way. It's a true story. I'll miss you, Uncle Billy. But I told you that was my toaster. Anyway, Venezuelans have been taking to the streets to protest food shortages and a collapsing economy with 10 million % inflation. The man responsible for all of this is Venezuela's authoritarian leader, Nicolas Maduro. The people tried to vote him out last year, but he rigged the election. And so now, an opposition leader has stepped up to say, basta!
A violent power struggle playing out in Venezuela. Opposition leader Juan Guaido swore himself in as president, declaring that President Nicolas Maduro was unconstitutionally sworn in for a second term.
On a stage in downtown Caracas, in front of a crowd of thousands, 35-year-old Juan Guaido raised his right hand and administered his own oath of office.
I swear to formally assume the powers of the national executive as the president in charge of Venezuela.
This is pretty historic. A 35-year-old just swore himself in as the new president of Venezuela. Yeah, the world's first selfie inauguration. Very millennial, very millennial. And not only do a ton of Venezuelans support Juan Guaido, he also has the support of major world leaders, including Trump, Merkel, Trudeau, Theresa May, and Tony the Tiger. This is a big deal. And now, moving on to another formerly prosperous country that is now falling into unrest, the United States. It is now day 34 of the government shutdown, the longest in American history, and the effects continue to pile up. A major border security conference has been canceled, flood recovery efforts have been stalled, and the government is so broke, the Secret Service has now been replaced by mall cops. And on top of all of that, President Trump's State of the Union address is officially canceled.
Overnight, President Trump blinking in his State of the Union stare-down with Nancy Pelosi. The president writing in a late-night tweet, "I will do the address when the shutdown is over. I am not looking for an alternative venue for the State of the Union address, because there is no venue that can compete with the history, tradition, and importance of the House chamber."
Oh, look at that. Donald Trump and Nancy Pelosi facing off, and Trump blinked first, which of course we knew would happen because Nancy Pelosi does not blink. And personally, I think postponing the State of the Union will be good for Trump's approval rating because Americans are very supportive of him not speaking. It's a thing they enjoy. Now, for many people, the shutdown still feels abstract, especially if you don't rely on government, for assistance. People are like, what do I care? I'm flying first class. Well, not for long.
Pilots, flight attendants, and air traffic controllers are expressing growing concern, saying air safety is deteriorating by the day as the government shutdown drags on.
Their unions issued a joint statement saying they can't even predict the point at which the entire system will break.
Oh, hell no. They can't predict when the system, now the shutdown is affecting air traffic control? If I was a pilot, I wouldn't even play around with this nonsense. I'd be like, ladies and gentlemen, we've reached our cruising altitude of 50 feet. 50 feet, just gonna play it safe today, folks. But this is crazy. You realize without properly staffed air traffic control, pilots are asking how safe it is to fly. And Spirit Airline pilots are asking, what's air traffic control? Spirit Airlines, we shut down the day we opened. Moving on from current events to ancient events.
An ancient stone circle that fascinated archaeologists is fake. Scientists were excited when they first discovered these rocks last year at a farm in rural Scotland. They were estimated to be around 4,000 years old. However, the farm's former owner has come forward saying he actually built the circle in the 1990s. Researchers have left the site.
No, I'm sorry. No, come on, guys. Really, the 90s? How can you not tell if something is that young? Are you an archaeologist or R. Kelly? No, you're right. He's a good guy. I shouldn't have said that.